Welcome back. The other top story at this hour. Sources have revealed that the Gurdaspur terror attack will not impact the National Security Advisor level talks scheduled between India and Pakistan. Both sides are now working out the modalities of the NSA level talks. Both sides are also against any knee-jerk reaction after the terrorist strike in Gurdaspur yesterday. India will not play in the hands of those who want to wreck dialogue, is what we are being told. Now, the objective of the NSA meet still remains the issue of terrorism. Meanwhile, the Punjab Chief Minister Parkash Singh Badal has cancelled his meeting with the Pakistani High Commissioner Abdul Basit that was scheduled for the 29th of July. Pakistan's role behind the deadly Gurdaspur terror attack has now been exposed. According to intelligence inputs, the 3 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists were spotted by security agencies in a village near the border. The Lashkar men were reportedly accompanied by 2 others, believed to be their ISI handler and a guide. The intelligence input also suggests that all terrorists were staying in the house of an ex-Pakistani serviceman who provided them logistical support as well as food. Another major breakthrough has been the proof provided by GPS locationing. Terrorists were traced back to a village across the border from Punjab. The signal indicates that the terrorists left Gharot village on Sunday night and crossed over to Bamial on the Indian side of the border. From Bamial, investigators believe the group caught an early morning bus that took them to the National Highway 1A and passing several police checkpoints. Also, locations of 3 military units, 1 cavalry and 2 infantry units were marked on the GPS.
What exactly is the terror trail as far as these terrorists are concerned? Now, GPS tracking devices that were there with these terrorists actually show that their base was in Shakargarh in Pakistan, and they actually started their mission. They actually started their movement into India from a place called Gharota. Now, let's take a look at what else they did once they reached Gharota. They crossed a tributary of the Ravi River and reached a village called Bamial, this particular village in Punjab. So they used a tributary to come into India. From Bamial, they caught an early morning bus on National Highway 1A. That's this particular highway that we are talking about, where they crossed various checkpoints along the way. And what did they do after crossing the checkpoints? From National Highway 1A, they then traveled south for their final attack at Dinanagar, and we know Dinanagar is the place where the final assault actually took place.
And joining us live on that top story is Kamaljeet. Kamaljeet, the terror trail indicating Pakistan's involvement in yesterday's terror attack.
Well, Pakistan completely lies nailed, and remember, there's enough evidence through the GPS that Pakistan is behind this terror attack, whether it's Pakistan's ISI or Pakistani army. Their involvement is fully known now. Now, what we've also come to know from our sources is that once these terrorists crossed over to the Banial area, Shakargarh is also an area that Hafiz Saeed really visits a lot. This is the area where Lashkar-e-Taiba really operates from. There are many launching pads there. Once these terrorists came in, they tried to actually snatch a tempo that they weren't successful with. They tried to actually get onto a bus, sprayed bullets on them. Then thereafter, they got a Maruti car, and thereafter, they did launch an attack on a police station in Dinanagar. The operation unfolded in front of the eyes of everyone. But what is more important is the fact that Pakistan this time has taken pains to show that there's no particular involvement. Otherwise, there are usually medicines, there are food, there are articles with them. With the terrorists, especially in a Fidayeen operation, they usually carry some proof or the other as to which country they belong to. Even the arms and ammunition only indicate that they were made in China. There's no indication, even any kind of indication on arms and ammunition were actually scraped off. That means to show that Pakistan has now taken pains. In 2611, there was enough evidence to prove them. But what is coming as evidence is the GPS, and obviously that could not be destroyed, and that is what is coming as far as evidence is concerned, as far as India is concerned. Now remember, there is Indo-Pakistan talk, the UFA talk, which has been seen as a successful talk, but thereafter we've seen successful ceasefire violations, but there have been deliberate, and more than that, there have been attempts by Lashkar-e-Taiba and other terrorists to try and infiltrate all along the international border and the LOC. This time the target has obviously not been Jammu Kashmir, it has been Gurdaspur in Punjab region. So this is an area that they would want to really concentrate on, whether the security force, now remember at this point of time what the security force has been telling us, that the BSF, which is all along deployed on the western border, has a double line of fence. Now these terrorists has obviously try to make their way from river Ravi in Jammu and Kashmir. Now they are obviously working on the clues. At this point of time the concentration is how to really nail Pakistan as far as India is concerned.
Also, this, we believe, will not have any impact on the NSA level talks between the two countries, Kamaljeet.
Well, definitely, surprisingly so. With the posturing that we've seen from the Narendra Modi government, that terror and talks will not go together. We've seen that NSA level talks in September continue to remain where they are. There's also supposed to be Park Ranger and DG BSF level talks in September. Now, what is crucial is if there's some forward movement, we've always seen that there's always one step forward and two steps backwards. So if there's any forward movement between the politicians, the Pakistan ISI, the Pakistan army continue to infiltrate, continue to send in their terrorists, and we've seen launching pads available. Now, dossiers after dossiers have been given, and obviously specific intelligence input talk about there have been groups of at least 6 to 7 and 7 to 8 Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed men who are trying to infiltrate. So yes, ahead of 15th August, there has been a countrywide alert, specifically in the metro cities, specifically in the northern India, and we've seen an attack really happening right before 15th August. Many are now saying that this could have some sort of relation with Yaqub Memon's hanging, but that's not been correlated as of now. So agencies working at multiple levels, but at this point of time, the talks seem largely unaffected.
All right, Kamaljeet, we'll keep coming back to you for more. But